Please welcome Martin LeBlanc, Chief Experience Officer at Freepik.
Hi, everyone. So this is the last talk of Upscale, and please clap if you enjoyed Upscale. Good. I truly enjoyed really talking to many of you in the booth, and I'll be showing you a bit more of some of the stuff that I've done today. My talk is called From Frames to the Future. You get that? And I'm going to talk a bit about concrete tips, and then I'm going to be talking about a little bit of reflection about what's going to happen in the future. And my name is Martin LeBlanc. I'm the Chief Experience Officer of Freepik. And lately, I've been working a lot with a new team we have, which is called Freepik Enterprise. We launched that at Upscale in San Francisco this year, a half year ago. And since then, we have been helping large companies not only get access to the tools and get those integrated into organizations, but we also help them, with all the creative work. It's not only the tools, it's also like how do you get a specific result, how do you get the products inside images and videos and so on. So we have this new team, which is called Freepik Studios, that does training. They do sort of like consultancy, which is very creative. And they also apply technical assistance. It can be something about, okay, we have our own model, how can we bring that to the platform? Stuff like that. And then we have another area, which is a little bit related, which we call Freepik Academy. So Freepik Academy has not launched yet. You're going to see that in a few months. It will be a section of tutorials. There will be courses. So you can take like 10 videos and learn a topic. And then you can also get a certificate. So you can go to your customers or your boss and say, I'm now certified in doing this on the platform. So those are two new areas of Freepik that we are building up. While we are doing all that work for these companies, we always sign NDAs. So the problem, I guess some of you also know this, you can't show the work, right? Because maybe we work with them, we do some amazing stuff, and we can't share it with anyone. So what I did for this presentation was that I took all the stuff that we learned, and then I applied that in new examples. So what you're going to see today is going to be different techniques of doing different things, making a continuous shot, replacing a character in a real video with filmed with a camera, and also doing an animated short film. So let's dive into just the first area. I think one major event that happened in 2025 has been the launch of Google Nano Banana. We also have Seedream. We have Flux Context. They are so powerful, these tools, that suddenly we can now, it's no longer difficult, putting a character inside an image, changing the camera angle, making the character change position, putting a product in an image. All that is now really easy. You all tried Nano Banana, I'm sure. But all these image models, they have a really big impact on when we are creating video. So this talk is going to be mostly about video, because personally, I'm really excited about video. Videos is the most effective medium we have to tell stories. You have moving pictures, you have sound. It's a really, really effective tool for telling stories. So we're going to see a bunch of videos today, so a lot of music and fun, so we're going to have a good ending of the conference. The first video I'm going to show you is just a video that I did for the fun of it. I posted on social media. The whole concept of that video was I wanted to have a bee that is flying through a city, through different neighborhoods and so on, in one continuous shot. So it's about 45 seconds. And you know that if you're generating a video with a video generator, you get 5 seconds. So it had to have many different shots connected together and then tell a story like this. So we're going to see the video. So this started with a beautiful picture that was done with Nano Banana, and I wanted to get all the details correct. This will be, hair on the body, the number of stripes, the beautiful wings, and everything. But what happens is that once you're creating this video, you're creating video 1, and then I'm taking the end frame of the first video and starting the next video, taking the end frame, starting the next video. And what happens is that the quality degrades. All the details about that bee is gone by the end of the video. And I think it was actually Joaquin, our CEO, who pointed that out when I showed it to him. And I was like, damn, okay, he's actually right. This is not like the quality we should be doing, right? We should be able to do a long video and then preserve the quality. So I started diving into this problem and figuring out okay, what is the problem and the solution? And overall, the problem is that you start with a great image, a start frame, and over the full course of that video, basically the signal from that start frame is gone. And by the end of that video, it has almost forgotten everything about that start frame, how that bee originally looked. So one of the things we could do is that we can maybe use one of the image or video models that can both take a start frame and an end frame, and then we would animate each video clip with start frames and end frames and make sure that the bee is correct in both ends. So I tried just generating, okay, let me try creating all the different places where the bee goes, creating that. This was with the C-Dream. And then creating videos where you have start frame, end frame, and so on. And I make sure that all these frames were actually looking great. So you have the first video is starting with a start frame, ending with an end frame, and then we want to make it go from, it's now in a garden, we want to make it to go to the street level. So we have the end frame here, and then we build video number 2 from that. And when you do that, you then have the first frame with all the details, and you have the last frame with all the details, and you eventually get all the details like the signals coming from both ends of the video, so the bee will maybe not be really accurate right in the middle, but towards the end and from the beginning, it will be looking good. The problem is then, when you do this, you have the problem with the motion. I'm not sure if you can tell. I can tell, at least. It's the bee. Let me just go back one, play it again. If you notice, halfway in the middle of the video, the bee slows down. It changes tempo. Let me play it again. So right here, you can see it changes tempo. It's not smooth, right? It's like, okay, good idea, not working. So AIB velocity, I trademark that. You have video, like the bee going, slow, fast, and it's like, this is not what we want. We want motion like this. So what you can do, and this is where it's a good idea to understand how does these video models work. And one of the things they look for is if you have a picture that has motion blur, it knows stuff is moving. So if I'm giving it frames that are completely crisp, I'm telling the video generator the bee is not moving, right? So one solution is don't use the end frame. Go a little bit back so it's not second 5 where I'm taking the end frame. I'm actually starting end frames, but I'm starting the next video where the bee is in motion. So, and now it looks like this instead. See the difference? Now it's a smooth motion, what you want. So now we have video 1, video 2, and the bee is now moving at this pace. And if you continue that process, you can start creating the full video. I'm not going to show you the full video because I didn't complete it, but I figured out the technique. You know it now. Basically, connecting these videos, looking for that motion blur is what is making the difference between stuff moving or is it stationary. So start in frame, put that motion blur in there. I also did it for this video. You can apply it to basically any scene. So here we're going from outer space, space travel, reaching Earth, and then going down to ground level. It's Hailu, and Sora 2. And you can just put all that stuff together. So if you tried creating a video like this and you have, in outer space, and you have a picture of San Francisco, and you ask the video generator to create that effect, it will never do it. It will look really bad. So very often you need to do stuff like this to create these kind of like bridges between the scenes. So this technique is really helpful for doing that kind of like more complex motion. And another thing, this is also something really important to know, like when we're talking about this kind of like the signaling of start and end frames. So I was working with this character, and it's a soldier that is like, from the future. It has like a ton of gadgets and goggles on the helmet. And I wanted this guy to walk through a snowstorm. And I use a C-dance for that. And there are two examples here. The one to the left has, in the start frame, it has all these goggles on the helmet. As soon as the video starts, it becomes like ski goggles. All the details disappear. On the right, everything is consistent and staying in place for the full video. And the difference is, the prompt for the first one just asks for that soldier to walk. And then I'm relying on the start frame to contain all the information about how he looks. On the second video, I have what he should be doing, but also inside the prompt, the whole description of how he looks. And the reason why that helps is because even if we have a start frame and it's degrading in signal through the whole video, if you put in everything you put into the prompt, it's actually affecting every frame. So you can avoid this problem of things degrading in quality over time. And there's a little trick, just like in Freepik. If you want to have that description of whatever, take the picture, drop it on the prompt box, and then we will create a description for you. You can then copy-paste that, put it in the video generator, and so on, or keep working on the prompt. So just a very quick way of doing this trick. So that was the first area. The next one is going to show you is we had a large beverage company. Cannot say the name, unfortunately. We were doing a project where we were asked to localize a video, where we were, with real people. So the original video is not AI generated. It's video camera, actors, and everything. And it turned out so well that I think we were just like, this. We need to show the world this. So we took an Apple ad, and we applied the same technique. And I'm going to show you how we did it. I'll just play the first one. This is the original Apple ad. No AI in this one.
I just got fixated on somebody. When I say somebody, I mean you. This obsession's much more than a hobby, and I can't help myself. I got a one-track mind, and it's all on you. It's all on you, and it's all on you. I got a one-track mind, and it's all on you.
Yeah, really cute ad. So what we did was basically, for every shot in that video, we took out the first frame, and we had the picture of this woman. We were using Flux Context Max for this one, so we took the picture, and we basically asked it to change the character. So we have this lovely woman instead. And with that picture, we can then take each of those static images, and we were using CDance as the start frame, or using that as a video generator, and the picture as the start frame. And with CDance, it's actually able to read a JSON prompt. And a JSON, like information or data, is basically machine readable, but you can create different sections. So you can say, what is actually the prompt? What's going to happen in the video? But you can also specify camera motion, style, atmosphere, and so on. So you have a lot of control. So what we were able to do is actually recreate all the motions that the character has for every shot, like touching the screen, clicking the button, looking up, and everything. So we basically had full control of that character and could replicate all the motions of the original actor. So this would be a clip that would come out. So the technique was once we figured this out, it was actually pretty straightforward. We were just completing that for every frame of the video, extracting the frames, replacing the character. We were doing upscaling with Magnific, generating the videos with CDance, and then reassembling everything and putting the music back on. I'm going to show you the before and after, so you can compare.
I just got fixated on somebody. When I say somebody, I mean you. This obsession's much more than a hobby, and I can't help myself. I got a one-track mind, and it's all on you. It's all on you, and it's all on you. I got a one-track mind, and it's all on you.
Yeah. So this was done by Elena from Freepik. She had a workshop earlier today. Amazing work by her. And I think this is actually really impressive because this took a day. And she generated around 200 images and around 50 videos. And it was all about, knowing what to do, knowing the tools, knowing what to prompt. So we're getting to a stage where things like this, localizing content, even a video that has been recorded with actors, you can now do that. So this is the last example, and I'm going to go way deeper into the whole process with this one. So we're going to use Spaces. I hope you know that we have launched Spaces. I'm just going to repeat very quickly what it's about. It's a node-based tool. You can build workflows. You don't have to. You can use it as a mind map, put in pictures, do everything in there. Your infinite canvas, you have a lot of options for collaborating with your team. You can invite people to your space, leave comments, work on the same stuff. In general, I mean, as a creative, this is a godsend. I love it already. I'm going to show you a video. It's about 1 minute. It explains Spaces better than I can do in 1 minute, so we're just going to watch the video.
Welcome to Spaces. It's your infinite canvas for creating workflows, automating creative steps, and collaborating with your team. Everything starts with nodes and connectors. Nodes hold your content, like text, images, or video, or tools such as generators or upscalers. Connectors link them together, showing how information moves through your workflow. This is how you build, step by step, from idea to the final result. Use a text node to write prompts or instructions. Use image nodes as reference images and inputs for generations. As your workflow grows, keep it clear and organized. Group-related nodes and use alignment tools to structure your space, so your ideas stay connected and easy to follow. Invite teammates to join, build together, and communicate directly in your shared space. And when you're looking for inspiration or ready-made workflows, explore templates. With that, you're ready to build your first space.
So I don't know how many of you are using Freepik? Raise your hand. Okay, that's pretty many. How many have seen this window? Okay. This one pops up if you start generating, I think, more than 4 or 5 videos at once, and the system is telling you to just, relax a bit, wait for the videos to complete. And this video was done about a year ago, which is 10 years in AI years, right? So it looks pretty outdated. And I was getting that model the other day, and I was thinking, why am I looking at this? It's come on, it's you're asking me to wait, and why we're not using that opportunity to show something interesting? If I have to wait 5 minutes anyway for the videos to complete, show me something fun. So I went back and think, okay, I like the idea is that these guys, they roughly represent GPUs, right? So I was thinking, okay, maybe we can tell a little bit of a story around this. So the concept of the video was robots are metaphors for GPUs, and these guys, they're working really hard, and then eventually they can burn out. So I was thinking, okay, that could be a fun story. And I'm old school, so when I do ideation, I actually turn off the screen. So I do a storyboard on paper with pens like this, and then I take a photo, and then I drop it into Spaces. So that's sort of a starting point. Ideation, away from the computer, in the forest, on the run, I don't care. And then I put that into Spaces. And what's happening now is that I put that in spaces, and then I'm sending it to, I have different options. I can send it to Nano Banana, so I'm sending the image data to a node with Nano Banana. So let's pick it from the list. And then aspect ratio 69 to make sure that it's a good format for video. Actually, it's like 4:3. And then I'm just asking it to like clean up the sketch, just removing a bit of the stuff from the paper. And what's happening next is I'm now taking that picture and sending it to one of my favorite nodes, which is the assistant. The assistant is a little intelligent node that you can put into your space. It's basically, I would say, like having a little ChatGPT in there. So I'm sending the image in there, and then I'm asking it to create a Sora 2 prompt that will visualize my sketch. So creating one video with Sora 2 from my sketch on this piece of paper. So taking that prompt, sending that to a video generator node, picking Sora 2. You can't see it on the screen, but I'm picking Sora 2 here, and then setting it to 12 seconds so I get the maximum length, and then just hitting generate. So, this process takes, from I have the sketch to that finished video, it takes 10, 15 minutes. And now I'm going for something I drew on paper to actually seeing a moving version of my idea. I wanted this to look really low fidelity because I want people to just be like, maybe I want to send this to my manager and be like, should we execute on this idea? Don't comment on how the robot looks. I just want to, have approval on the concept. So you do like low fidelity to get feedback on that level. So I could get an idea about, this story will work. So I'm moving to the next phase and thinking, okay, let's try also thinking about that robot. It has to look, in a certain way for the story to work. If it looks too scary, it's not working. If it's looking too cute, it's not working. So I want to find some kind of like middle ground. So I drew on a page. This was actually done on the iPad, Procreate, just doodling this little robot, sending it to an image generator, and then just duplicate. You can go in and say how you need more variations. So I want to like explore a large amount of options. So I'm just spinning up image generators as crazy, right? To have all these different options that I can pick from. So you can see all the results coming in. And maybe in this phase, there's maybe, a robot I like some of it, and I want to change a bit of it. So I could go to, I'm just going to organize it nicely, but I could maybe take one of them and then continue the process, changing it even more. Deleting the ones I don't like. So maybe I like this one up here, but I want to change something. I can just, continue the process. So you can see this is like, at least for me as a creative, the process of working creatively is very often by association. You want to go from a sketch and throw it in here, see what resonates with you, continue the process, build on what you like. And with spaces here, I feel like I'm actually visualizing that way of working. It's like this is what I'm seeing in my mind. I'm like working on this robot, and then I want to change it and jumping from step to step. So next step is I want to, talk to my colleague Jose, get his input on these robots. I put them all in. You can see here. This is now I just dropped in the images into a different area of the space. There's no workflow. This is not you're not forced to have connectors for everything. This is just a tool where I put in those images and I ask Jose, okay, I went through all these different iterations of the robot. Can you please check them? Which ones do you like? Which ones don't you like? And we figured out, okay, this robot, we both like it. Great. Okay, we have the character. We have the main character. So the next phase is, okay, we have the character. We have the storyline. Let's try to explore the movement. Should it have legs? Should it have wheels? And so on. So I'm going to introduce, this is actually, I'm going to the image generator, so outside spaces, created this factory. I'm jumping back to spaces, go to media, and then I can pick the factory I created over there. So there's like this shared pool of pictures and videos between the different tools. So I can maybe sometimes you don't want to stay in places, you want to just go to the image generator tool, you can just freely flip back and forth. So I have my robot, I have my location. Now we want to have that robot, we want to test a scene where he's like arriving at work. So he's jumping, or he's coming to the company, going through a door, and he's carrying a little red lunchbox, just for the fun of it. I'm not sure why robots would eat lunch, but anyways. So what I'm doing here is actually, you can put the prompt on the video generator, but sometimes you want like a very long prompt. And what you can do is that you can create a text node. A text node doesn't do anything, but it can be a container for a very long prompt. When you connect that to an image generator or video generator, that text will then become the prompt. So it's a very easy way for you. You can see it also made it green. A very easy way for you to say, okay, I want to maybe change this prompt in the future. You just extract it and place it somewhere else. So now the image is generated. The node that I'm moving right there is an upscaler node with Magnific. And I'm not hitting run yet. And the node to the right is the video generator. I think I'm going to pick Kling 2.5. And here's a nifty little thing. So we have the image generator prompt in the green box, and we need a video generator prompt for Kling 2.5. So what I'm doing now is that I'm taking the image generator prompt, and I'm not going to rewrite that to video. I'm just going to ask the assistant to convert the image generator prompt into a video generator prompt. So it's going to take care of everything about like motion, camera movement, and so on. So I'm actually never writing the prompt for the video generator. It's just asking the assistant to just take my image generator prompt, convert it to a video generator prompt, and then add it, right? So super easy way to change between image and video. Whenever there's like connected nodes, you have different options. You can say, I want to run this node only, or I want to run this node, but everything after that. So we can say like everything that happens downstream. So what happens now is that it will upscale the image, and then when it's done, it will start the video generator with that upscaled image. So you can imagine if I wanted, for example, to go back and change the robot, I could change that robot and hit generate, and then it will sort of like run the full workflow again with just one click. And yeah, this is just one clip where you can see the robot arriving at the factory, and I'm happy about that. So from here, I'm saying, okay, now we have the character, we have the storyline, and everything. My colleague are happy. Let's just, okay, now it's time to scale it up and start creating all the different shots for this video. So this is the phase where you really start to just go through every scene. So I have my robot, I have my factory, I have a secondary person. It's like a supervisor robot who's kind of stressing out the little robot. And you can see every shot for the video. I'm just going start frame, video, right? Until, for example, here, in the end, I want the robot to fall over. That was a little bit more tricky. I was using Hailu for that one. So I had like 3 different versions to just figure out like which one was the best. And then finally, you can draw a box around a group of videos and then create a group. And once you have a group, there's a little download button. So you click that one, and then everything is zipped, and then you get like a final file where you have those 10, 15 videos just ready for you to move into Premiere Pro, for example. I think there's, as you can see, there's like, you have amazing tools, like image generation, video generation, and so on. You can do amazing stuff. I think right now, at least what I'm seeing, is that the videos that stands out are very often, there's a lot of stuff happening after those video generations. Like the videos from the generators are like raw material. They need a lot of love afterwards. And I have 5 tips that I apply myself, and you can follow these, and I'm sure that if you don't do them, I think your videos will become much better. The first one is adjusting the speed of clips. Many video generators, they create slow motion. And if you notice that, it's like, as soon as you start seeing that, you can see a lot of videos where I'm thinking, guys, just speed that up. He's not walking at a natural speed. I always speed it up by 30 to 100%. You also need, if you're working on something where you want to post on social media, you need some intensity. You need something that is like keeping people interested. Otherwise, they're just going to be going to the next post. If you speed things up, you also need to reapply motion blur. So the next step is to reapply motion blur, and you can do that if you're using DaVinci Resolve. There's built-in. Premiere Pro, you need a plugin. I'm using one called Real Smart Motion Blur. So put that on, and cutting and editing. I think there are 2 tips for cutting and editing, very easy to learn. One is called cut on action. It's been applied in Hollywood for ages. You need to stop the cut when things are moving. Don't cut when stuff is stationary. It's very easy. It feels unnatural when you're editing, but it's a really, really effective approach. And the other thing is called ASL, so average shot length. If you watch a Michael Bay action movie like Transformers, they have an average shot length of 2.4 seconds. It's really, really fast. And very often, we have 5-second videos coming from video generators. People are moving in slow motion. People edit that together. And then I'm just looking at it and saying, okay, 5 seconds. They didn't even cut anything from the beginning of them. They just did an edit where they just slapped every video together, right? You should cut way more. You should try, if you have something upbeat, go for say, okay, 2.5 seconds is my average, and then just be ruthless about editing at that speed. I promise you it will be better. There's one benefit of doing that also, which is if you're generating a 5-second video, very often random stuff will happen by the end of the video. But if you start thinking, I just need 1-2 seconds that works, you will be discarding way less videos, because you can say, I'm just going to use the 2 first seconds, and the rest, I don't care. The robot might look crazy in the end, but the first 2 seconds are perfect. I'm going to use that. Apply color grading. It's not very complex. The keyword is using a lot. It's a little file that you can import into any video editing software, and you get really good consistency. So even if you're using different video generators, you can actually get a very consistent-looking full edit in the end. And finally, I always do that. Throw it into Topaz, upscale, add a little bit of noise, so you don't have ugly gradients and so on, and that makes a big difference. I'm going to show you the final result, so you can enjoy that.
People in therapy are often there to deal with people in their lives who won't go to therapy. I have a job, it's actually quite fulfilling. Throw my head understanding. I barely do anything else. I read self-help books. I do my meditation. Walks in the woods. A new destination. I sit with my feelings. Sometimes I'm even dreaming.
Thank you. So, just reflecting a little bit about what's coming next. I think the image models are now so good that you can move the camera around. You can do so many things. And also, the success rate of these image models are really, really high now. There's a lot of things that I did for this video. You almost get it right in the first try. And when that happens, I think it also opens the door for automation. Because if you don't have, when the randomness decreases, we can actually start thinking about, we don't need a human necessarily to check everything, right? So we can build maybe a workflow in Spaces and put that behind, let's say, a web shop. And it could look like something like this. So you have all your beautiful products with different models, but then you drag in a picture of yourself. And you can imagine an image model in the background working for all these pictures saying, put this product on that guy, put that product on that guy. And then you can have a customized experience. We are maybe not there right now. Very soon, we will be there. And I think also there's, as we talk a lot about video, the tools are improving so much that you can really effectively tell really good stories. You can make characters talk. You can make, a robot move and everything. And the gap between what Hollywood can do with big budgets and what you can do as an indie filmmaker is really closing very fast. We have some, Wonder Studios. They're not like a massive team doing amazing work. But I think it's also coming to ads, and I think this is where I think there's some interesting change, because lately, I think in the past week, I saw a really good, maybe you saw it too, a really nice Nike ad that was going viral. And what I'm thinking is that we will have a lot of fan-made ads coming out. And for many years, companies, they have been able to control the narrative. You've been able, for the past maybe 100 years before social media, you could buy a newspaper ad, you could buy a TV ad, and the brands were in control of the whole narrative. And then you had social media coming around. And then suddenly, if you as a brand were not saying something interesting, nobody was reposting you. You get no visibility. And people were having a discussion about you somewhere else, on social media. And if you're not like an interesting brand, you are not a part of the discussion. You had to get invited, right? I think a really good example of somebody who's doing it right is Ryanair. Ryanair is super funny on Twitter. People repost it because it's just amazing humor. And I think it's a really good example of them just accepting a reality and then really building a brand around, they can be the fun guy at the party. But this is coming to ads also, like video ads, that we will have companies trying to say, this is our brand, and do the storytelling, but we will have an indie filmmaker maybe making a video that is a fan video for Nike that gets more traction than the one that the company puts out. So a big change is happening here with the video. So I think my point is that I think we heard that a lot at this conference, that we need to really think about, okay, we have this technology. We need to really think about creating great stories. Stories is how we understand reality, how we understand the future, and it can evoke emotion, make us laugh, and so on. And it's very easy to get caught up in, this is the new model, and this is a new, shiny object. But I think this is one of my favorite quotes from Steve Jobs. No amount of technology will turn a bad story into a good story. So I think sometimes we need to maybe just say, the tools are there. We don't have to chase technology all the time. Let's try to make something meaningful. So I want to, before we end, talk about Upscale. So I hope to see you all in Upscale next year. We're going to be going to San Francisco in May. We have tickets with a discount ready. You can buy it today if you want. And also, I think we also can relate to this. When using generative AI, it can be like rolling a dice. And when I was making this presentation, not everything went as planned. So I'm going to show the last video.
Mark it up. And cut.